I'm gonna restart and do what battery ended, since the battery is now full. Compassion is an earned thing, and even if you unconditionally have compassion, it doesn't mean others really want it. They are living in their own little fight of a dream world, to where, like, I had a disagreement about somebody who says, if you're not a Christian, you shouldn't be my friend. We're all a multitude of variety here, people. We all bleed red. Where's the compassion in that? When you have to stipulate that you're not going to be a friend with somebody because they're not Christian. Well, look what the Christians did. Look what they're still doing under the law of a man's idea of how things are supposed to be. Not creators. Not the one who put us here to use that divine spark to create good, harmony, forgiveness, compassion, respect. Communications need to be worked out, understood. No dominance, no power might makes right. And where I left off on the other one is because it's like the shit's hitting the fan. People's realities are being distorted more than ever. You know, granted, I also found out we got a new asteroid coming by the Earth. Woo! And I'm wondering, well, was that part of the power flicker this morning or not? We will never truly all understand until we get to a certain level of letting go. There is no sin. We're all here to learn something. Now, if you harm somebody, that harm will come back to you. I do understand to believe in what true karma is and the duality of it. You just can't go out there and think that because you want it your way, that that's the way it's supposed to be. It doesn't work like that. That's like planting a rose bush and expecting sunflowers. What the heck is that? And everything does have its cycle, place, and time. But if you do it under compassion and trying to understand that we are here all sharing the same world, the same place, even the same ideas, if we listen to each other, it might be said in a different way. Here, yes, last night I'm trying to listen to a dialect of a Cuban talking Spanish. I'm like going, whoa! I don't know these things, and it isn't by where my choice wasn't to. It's just that the schools never let me go and take French and Spanish, even though those were the two languages I wanted to take. And the same thing when I wanted to do commercial art. They didn't let me when I was in school, so I had to go to a different school to get my commercial art degree. And then come to find out, all that effort that I put into it would be used against society because it's manufacturing lies and deceit of things that they want to promote and draw you into the illusion, so then all reality is by their ways and means. Excuse me, Monsanto, does that ring a bell, anybody? Chemtrails, does that ring a bell, anybody? How about the banks? How about the banks? How about the idea that, you know, we have to escape from the pain? No, recognize the pain and then utilize it to get out of the pain. There is no reality behind it except what your conscious sense and belief puts into it. Sometimes we'll never have the root answer or cause because some things are so dug in deep that they're trying to surface now, and then the shadows become, and people want to hide from them. I think now's the time to wipe that chalkboard. Let the stuff come up and be created to at least an understanding that you have a choice of cause and effect. You have a choice of action-reaction. This is what we call free will. Now, I'm not saying that the ego doesn't have its way sometimes. I had that the other day. Oh my gosh. And I don't like feeling like that. I don't like getting to the point where I'm exasperated that my efforts aren't rewarded or appreciated. Yeah, that's a little egotistical, but my spirit means it too. Because I'm only trying to do all this through love. through joy. Let's have some warm fuzzies. Let's have a party. There are good things out there. There are beautiful things out there. There are things that are here and meant to enjoy, even if it's a fleeting moment. Like yesterday, I was having help from one of the housemates stripping this wire so I can make more trees. We were enjoying ourselves. Yeah, it was a little tedious. I got a blister, I cut my finger, but we were working together. We were working in a harmony that was joyful. We had even other housemates here following and flowing with us. It was a joy. It was just those moments of true familyhood. And that's what community is all about. And we live in one big planet Earth called community. If anybody can get over this to realize the facts, but to have somebody say, you shouldn't be writing this way, and you shouldn't be talking this way, and you shouldn't. Well, I'm not going to judge somebody for doing that, but I will have a response. It might not be a response they like, but they're allowed, just like I'm allowed. And if people don't allow each other to communicate in the only and best way that they know how, then they're lying to themselves as well. I mean, it's all to be worked out. It's all to be mowed through. It's all to be utilized for the betterment of ascension. Going up, not going down, because then you're just going to create the hell of repeating. And what does that bring you? But pain, agony, distrust, and, anomalies that people just don't realize they're calling to themselves. It's the begetting part. We will beget this. We've begotten it. Well, yeah, you kind of ask for it. It kind of comes your way. And so much is out of fear and taught self-sin and just, ideologies that don't make a dang bit of sense to me. There is real assumptions, which means that's not a fact. It's not a truth. It's just a thought in your mind. It might not be real. It might not be to the idea of existence as we know it. But if you carry these limited ideas and these false beliefs in your head, it will be created outside of yourself. And then you will see it happen all over and over again. All over and over again. Now, I forgive. Doesn't mean I forget, but I'm not going to try to go back and change it when it was what it was, whatever. And it is that way right now, too. At least now my battery's full, so I don't have to worry about the camera shutting off. But anyway, that wire had white powder on it, so I had to wipe each piece off before I stripped the plastic off. I mean, my trees come from this kind of environment, first off. I am recycling. I am not going to go out there and take resources that haven't already been harvested and just let them get thrown back into the landfills. No, I will try to utilize the most effort out of what materials I have available. And my trees are really coming out better, and the rocks under them are really good. And, I mean, I'm happy to do the creating. And the tree of life is who we are. The Merkabahs, the energy power sources that each one of us does contain naturally. But we have set them away from our understanding of our consciousness to be able to utilize these actual powers of who and what we are. As in breath, as in thought, as in meditation, like prayer is asking, meditation is receiving the answers, or just gaining that peace so you can go on a little further and help change things that are out there, not create worse things that are out there. Why would we need something worse than what we've already are experiencing? Yes, it's all a state of mind. But whose mind? What mind? Which mind? Oh my gosh. And yes, I would like to be out there. I would like to be back out on the street to the point of coexisting with other people who might need that unconditional love and the warm fuzzy And the understanding that if you're sad or down, that most of us have been there and we can all relate. And that's the reason why we have each other, because we're here to be relating, to give the compassion, the understanding that we are all on this big old spaceship together and there is stuff going on and we are all a part of it. So the more we can harmonize instead of judge and make the realities as peaceful and as joyful and as understanding as we can get them, then all life will have a change. All cycles will start getting broken. All habits, not all of them, but most of them, habits will get altered if we want to alter them. It's all through intent. It's all through free will. It's all through the understanding that we do have power here. No matter how much power they've taken away from us economically, medicinally, and spiritually through all false pretenses and lies, a man's creation, not the truth of the being of why we're here, and the elements and the senses that create our environment, we are allowed to enjoy. We are allowed to manifest the heaven on earth, in earth, not on. On is above and we're in. We are here in the thick of it. Not trying to follow some rules that basically would put you into some kind of conundrum and make you feel guilty and a victim and that you have no power at all. We all have power. If you have heart, you have power. And it's time to let that heart grow bigger than you've ever thought it could grow. By forgiveness, by understanding that each one has their stipulations, because this is, if we were all the same, what a, I almost said ugly, but what a boring existence this would be and become. Where would be the excitement of, everybody hitting a home run or all the touchdowns being scored or whichever? There's always the balance. There's always the give and take, the cause and effect, and winners and losers, but not really. If you put your whole application of intent to the good of just doing it and having fun. It should be a game. It shouldn't be a chore. It shouldn't be a stipulation of demands. And it shouldn't be where somebody expects somebody else because of their misgivings to be intolerable and responding to somebody because they're feeling low. I'm certainly not going to want to try to put somebody down because they're not on the same level. I might try to communicate a little better and easier what my level is of understanding how I feel, but I can't go there where you are. Maybe every so often we can collaborate and feel the same way or do the same thing or share the same moments in the same blissful joy. And it's a shame that they're far and few and in between, but in between all those times we should remember that it's the unconditional love and the divine right order of universal law is what makes us here, brings us here, is us here, if we choose to accept that mission. If not, then you're going to have chaos and illness and guilt and fear and none of us really deserve that part, and it was only man who wants the power control to tell the other humans that that's the way it's supposed to be. Well, I know it's not the way it's supposed to be. Yes, we all have our moments and we're falling backwards. Just like the Venus retrograde. It is uncovering shadows that we're all experiencing. I experienced a big one the other day, and I experienced some last night. But it's not to the idea that we can't work it out, and that there can't be some kind of compromise to joy and compassion and tolerance and understanding, stepping into somebody else's shoes. But recently I've been getting told one thing, and then it turns around and gets completely opposite thrown at me. Now, which am I supposed to believe? I'm not going to believe any of it either way. I have to make that decision to just keep my integrity and my intellect and my understanding of the truth behind what my cosmology is and what I'm here to do to help brighten the light. Now, come here, Cuties, you gonna come see me? Cuties. You know, to have the freedom, okay? To have the freedom to pull the Cuties' tail because the kitty likes it. Yeah, she'll come back for more. Yeah, she is. There she goes. She's gonna come back for more. And it's not a pull hard. It's a just, okay, yes, you love me, so you hold on. And you make sure I know that you love me from head to toe. Yes. Or head to tail. Yes, you're my Cuties. You're my Cuties. You want to see my Cuties? There's a Cutie. There's a Cuties. Now, she's an outdoor Cutie. And she's just now learning what it is to be able to get the hugs and get love. Yeah, she get the hugs and the love. And one of the best things is a kitty hug, huh? Yeah, it is. And those are the moments that I cherish. You know, the butterfly dances, the hummingbirds aren't coming back because something happened, like an air conditioner underneath or that, but the joy has been missing, which is what it's represented of hummingbirds, so maybe that's part of it. But just enjoy all the little treasures that are there around you. The miracles of unconditional love, respect, and compromise. And they're there. They're there if you look for them and want them and try to create it, because what you put out there will come back to you one way or another. Me too. Not just you. Me too. Trust me, me too. Because one of these days my van will be fixed and I will be able to go out there and be on the street and do what I'm supposed to do out there. I have a hard time walking 6 miles on mountains and slopes and wet things. Plus, you're not allowed because it's an interstate over here. And then to kitty hair. That's the only problem with the cat is kitty hair. But that's okay too, because that's all part of the cat. There's nothing that can be done except you take care of the issue that might be warranted that needs to be taken care of. Like putting air in your tires if your tires are getting low. Everybody be aware and beware. Look to see, to learn, to understand that you are the one responsible for yourself. Now, responsibility means able to respond, okay? And sometimes it's just like, oh my gosh, maybe I can't. And I don't really believe in the word can't, because anything can be achievable if you set your mind to it, even if it's in the minutest way of being. Everything is justified by what you believe and where your intent is and how it is fulfilled. Yeah, we have our hairy moments, or let's say our accosting moments, etc. Well, try not to turn the heat on high. Slowly cook these things in a good marinade to make it sweet. You know, if you want a little sour with it, that's just a joke gone by, but, you know, tolerate the differences. Understand that, yeah, there are limitations, but you may overcome these limitations. It's all through intent of belief. I'm going to say it probably 4 more times. Intent of belief, intent of belief, intent of belief. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, you don't want to be my friend because you're not Christian. Well, excuse me, but I know the past and history and I don't want it repeated. How can somebody actually judge and threaten others because they are not unlike mine? I have one of my favorite little friends that is flippin' Muslim. I don't claim to have any religion except spirit. And if that's a damnation upon myself, then they can all have it for me. I don't care, because I don't feel damned for being myself. I actually do understand my spark and the reason why I am attempting to be here and do these videos and other things that I'm doing, you know? It's just a misunderstanding when we don't stop, look, and listen and try to be in the now. If you're carrying pain and ugly from the past, It's here in the present, and you're just going to manifest a bigger wound for the future. What sense does that make? Doesn't make any sense to me. And these people who are literally going through damnation right now, they're trying to keep a stiff upper lip and a chin high. And they're trying to help replicate the old ways of the peace and the joy and the love in times that, there's radiation fallout, there's earthquakes, there's typhoons, bigger. They're at a constant now. We now have asteroids slinging by the Earth. Who knows what time it is, really? It could be the end time. But I'm not going to place judgment or definites on anything, because it's not by my will that these things are, just by my conscious sense to know they're happening, but it's by thy will, the divine right order and the cosmic essence of intent. Everything we do does come back to us through intent. Through, are you doing it for the good, or are you doing it for the ugly? Because whatever you're doing it for is going to come back to you. And then you wonder why there's pain, and why there are people that just don't want to be around you, etc. Well, actions speak louder than words. And even though the words might be getting yelled and you might be saying ugly stuff, it shouldn't be. I know it's not easy, because I just have been through it. Not to take it personal of how other people see you and react to you, when all you're trying to do is create and be the harmony and the love that is here for us to enjoy. Oh my gosh. And the biggest thing, and I don't mean to say this as a male bashing thing, but it's basically the men that are going through a lot of this. And I just want to hug them and tell them it's okay. We don't need to bicker, argue, and be misguided by accusations or, stipulations, expectations. Because it's not by our choosing always to have the conditions and the things that we're in right now. I would love my happy past of all the creating and money and healing and all those wonderful things I did way back in Florida for how many years? 33, basically. But I'm in a completely different state. Not a different state of mind, but yeah, maybe a different state of mind. I'm at a higher altitude. I'm not just 9 feet above sea level anymore. I'm like in the thousands feet above sea level. And even though things do seem impossible, if you stop and change your perspective and direction and ask for some assistance, you will get your answer, one way or another. The symbols are everywhere. Just like the birds chirping, that means life is still going on. Yeah, each one has its own little specific meaning, but take the big picture first, and then investigate the smaller pictures, so you can know in your heart what is right for you, that you are able to share freely, unconditionally, and through every bit of aspect of your being. My gosh. Everybody has their own different plateaus and things of where we are up and where we are down, and how we respond to the way things are. But understand, there is no judgment from universal law, but it will give you what you ask for. You're not sinning. You're not... excuse me. Everything has its point and reason. Everybody is in and out of our lives for a certain other reason. And we all must just learn to cherish it as we are it. And they are it. And it is it, like that beautiful mint over there. It's a chocolate mint. And just to enhance the senses, change the attitude, reevaluate the perspective, so maybe it'll bring more to you instead of putting things away. I could claim a whole bunch of victimhood, but I'm not going to waste my time and effort and my energy. There's just no sense in it. Because it was in the was. It is not in the now. And that makes the bigger difference out of all of it. We're here to help our sisters and brothers and love the children and raise them in a good, free, open environment and not have stipulations because everybody learns different. Our senses are so capable of knowing different things and understandings. But when you take your intuition away because somebody has told you no, you're not allowed to have feelings. Oh, yes, you are. This is what keeps us safe in life, and understanding the difference is our feelings. It's just been a heck of a time, and we got more time coming for all of this. Because there's other planets in Virgo, which means the perfectionist wants it all a certain way. Well, we can't all have it a certain way. Life has its own rules. Life has its own agenda. We're here just to try to fulfill our part of those rules and agenda. It's tree making day, Father's Day. Woo-hoo. Video number 2 for the day, which is fine. I don't mind. I can do 20 videos if I really felt like it, because I have to vent. If I don't vent, then how am I going to grow? I have to hear myself for what I'm saying, and I do listen to my own videos so I can know, I can get my own giggles and myself. Look at that old crone. Yeah, look at that old lady. She once was a beautiful model, and now she's an old crone, and I'm happy with it. I don't mind not having the body that I used to have. I'm a lot freer without all those contraptions supposedly holding myself together for the beauty and betterment of all mankind. Well, yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, it's the noon hour. So what you're hearing is all the churchgoers going back and forth and now going to lunch and talking about whatever it is that they might have learned in church from some man who's learned from man's words, not the true Creator's words, because Creator doesn't use words as much as it used the symbols of harmony and love and the birds talking to us where the beauty lies outside of ourselves because of what we feel inside of ourselves. But I don't believe in a devil. I don't believe in a damnation. I don't believe in sorry. I don't believe in being full of cares, which is careful. We have to really communicate first with ourselves to understand what it is we're creating out there. That was another disagreement today. I think I've typed more words this morning than I have in a week, just because the spirit is flowing. Things are in general enhancing. And if they're going to be in a negative, then just hold on tight, I have one of the hardest times buttoning my lips and keeping quiet. But it's only because I'm trying to balance out and make known what it is we're trying to communicate. Instead of being the victim or setting limits or creating disharmony that doesn't need to be there. Oh my gosh. And yeah, people, go ahead, say something. I'm smoking again. Now, hey, nobody has the right to judge anybody else for their behavior, whichever, because we really don't know. How many times has coffee been good for you? Coffee been bad for you? Oh, it's very cancer repelling. Oh, it'll promote other diseases. We all have to understand that nothing is set in stone. We are the ones who have the notion to think we have a clue to really understand what it's all about. No way. No way. And I really don't like having to say anything about other people. I'll try ever not to name names because I don't want anybody hurt or harmful, but I want people to understand that we all go through this. No matter what size your light, or your vocabulary, or spelling skills, which I don't have very well, but I can type still, one finger at a time, each hand. And that's how I get it done. And now if somebody came and told me, oh, I'm not supposed to do it that way because it's their way that they're thinking it should be done. Well, if I asked for assistance to get that qualification, then maybe I'd listen. But when it just gets put right in front of you, you're kind of like moved out of the way of your own project and stuff because somebody wants the power to show you how it is. That's just not fair or right. I didn't even do that when I was an elementary school teacher. Boy, those were the days. You know, the conundrum must end to the point of being respect. Know that we're not all equal in the same of learning or doing, but being. Yes, we are all equal in the being part. And that men don't have to be afraid of their emotions as long as they're giving them out there with honesty, good intent, and trying to understand the differences between the male and the female. We're supposed to be compatible and to the point of where things are and can be created as a joy, not a damnation and a fight and a power play. Boy, a lot of those have been going on lately. And all from the idea of drugs and alcohol. Now, I believe in partying. I really do. I believe in having a good old time, dancing, singing, playing some music. But when every day is an effect of where you got to drown in your sorrows and not see the true consciousness of facts of the face of what your behavior is upon others, then there's going to be bedlam. And that's one thing I don't like is bedlam. No. You know, everybody has a talent. Everybody has their attributes of creation. It's just how are we going to share it? How are we going to make it so everybody can join in the dance of reality of who knows our own best interest? I don't. I quit questioning the universe a long time ago because there's just no sense. Hello, butterfly. There's just no sense. And even though I try to do lots of little things to help people get through their days or whichever, I was told I was conspiring against somebody else because I'm trying to be compassionate enough to know, well, you use this. Here, have this. Here, I'll give you a helping hand. Here, this is this and this and this. So I've been getting a lot of, oh, you're just not right, Mona. Things are not just right with you. And how dare you even think that way? But it's from a foggy, clouded mind that's being said these things to me. Every so often I am a human being, and I do take these things personal. And I react, like I did in, 2 days ago video? 3 days ago video? I don't even remember how many days. Because I don't set limits, I don't set labels, I don't set expectations. I know that I understand how the harmonics are to play in this universe. No, I can't play a musical instrument and everything, but I do enjoy the play of it and listening to it, as long as it's all in tune and played from the heart, not just some structure of, oh, because I can play music, here I'm playing some sound. That just doesn't make sense. But otherwise, I just wanted to try to elaborate a little further on the other video that I'm downloading right now on YouTube. And to understand that, we are deeper than who we think we are. And the external things are just to show us, to open the doors, to let the skeletons and the shadows out. Venus retrograding is really going to be something else for the next couple of weeks. And then Jupiter going through Gemini, there's going to be a lot more of this going on. And we need to breathe. not get rolled up into it. We're here to undo the ball of wine. Blech. To undo the ball of twine that has held us so much in limitations, okay? We're here to unravel it. We're here to make a nice, beautiful picture out of this twine. Not to make it so tight that the circulation is getting shut off and people's brains aren't working anymore, like the use of the fluoride in the water and the other things of those natures. But also trying not to fight. There can be more gathered with honey than vinegar. Even though I love vinegar because it cleans real well, the white stuff. Now the apple stuff is the healing. The white vinegar is the clean. And we all just do what you love. And love yourself first. And unconditionally love everything else that is out there. We're worth a happy heaven here on earth. We're worth it more than what we would ever pretend to know to understand. Because ever since as a child, we've been told no. No, no, no. Because that's what they've been taught. We need to now, today, break the cycles of this crap that is inhibiting the truth, the light, and the love. For the joy and the peace to create this heaven. It is what it is, whatever. I send you all at least a smile to know that if you do your best and there's unconditional love out there, we will have the joy and the peace and the heaven that we're all looking for. So, ciao, peace out, bye.